and you have to literally be able to meet people where they are, or you won't be able to get the, you don't even get the activity in a church if you can't meet people where they are. So let's think about it. When you're talking about membership and church memberships, and we got to think about it all the way around. And then when we look at it, we have to look at it from a perspective of, we are in the community, but if we have problems getting people to come out and fellowship and worship in church, how do you think and it's easier for a church, how do you think the police department is going to be able to go out and get that same community to come out and be able to identify with them? See, it's a whole process that we all have to jump on board, and the action is, and what you said, it's action. And that's what we're doing, and that's why I said, if you, Pastor Leroy, and you see, we can't do things individually. It's hard when you try to work on things individually, because you can deal with one case at a time, but you're not going to get the same effect if everybody joins together and does it as a team, because you get more productivity, and more things working. You can see the actual fruits of your labor when you have more people that join together as a unit. When you try to do things individually, it's just hard. It's hard to do, and you can tackle one issue at a time, but this is something that's we're not gonna be able to police our way out of this situation.
Okay, there's one thing I want to say. It's a missing component that a lot of people, we're talking about faith-based or faith-based, are heard by police, are heard by adults. But the key element that's missing is the youth. The youth are the ones that are doing it, and the youth are the ones who are going through it. So you need to be able to get them to interact. Okay, and I'll be honest with you. I dealt with some guys that, been in serious trouble. Okay? I've been to the speaking circle. Some in there, 15, 13 for murder. Okay? And the thing of it is, but once they're behind there, and they out of that element, that's the opportunity to communicate with them. Sometimes, if a person, you were saying earlier, acting aggressive, you can't talk to them right then and there, because sometimes he's feeding off the people around him. Sometimes you have to wait till that moment, catch them at another time by such a speech, we cannot talk to each other, and be able to relate to them. That's what I'm saying. But have some events, and that's the problem. I always hear everybody don't have money to do that, right? Because you're trying to do it by yourself. But if you came together and do it, then it can be done. What do the youth like? They love music. Okay, they don't listen to the music that we listen to, but they love music. Just bring them there, or have a basketball tournament. Have the law enforcement there, showing that, okay, you know what? I don't know if y'all would do that, but anyway. I'm just talking about playing basketball, a tournament, all of that, right? But they have to be consistent. It's not, I'm not pinpointing one thing. I'm looking at it as a whole, right? And get the youth involved. You already know people love food, free food. So they come. And that's the opportunity to be able to communicate with them. But it's not just us speaking. We need to hear your voice. Just like young man Adam. It's stuff that they go through. You don't know what they're feeling and what they're going through if you don't allow them to express what they feel. Yeah. Allow them to understand more, because they're seeing. When we was growing up, nobody had to deal with all this. But now that it's happening. And I don't want to just say to you, they all feel they crazy, they like us. No, they're not like us. But we have more support back then. Now, as adults, we need to be the supportive one. We need to be the mentors. We need to allow them to know, okay, you made mistakes, but this road you're down now, it can take you either to jail or to your grave. And to be honest with you, a lot of them already know that. What do you tell a child that knowing that everybody's carrying guns? Let's just be real. They're carrying guns. And they're carrying it. If they feel that they don't carry one, if they don't carry one, somebody's going to kill them. So tell me how you deal with that situation. How can you communicate with them? Because you're not going to get there in 5 seconds. So it's like, I got to make a choice. I carry a gun and pull that trigger before they shoot me. And that's sad. Yeah. That's very sad. So I feel that before that happens, right now, it seems like a lot of things is occurring more now. So it's occurring more. Has the youth changed? No. Because you know something? I'm be honest with you, I'm sad to see it being here like this.
Yeah.
Because everybody think, oh, well, it ain't happening in my neighborhood, it ain't happening on my street, so it don't concern me. But keep letting it happen. It will grow. It will grow in other places. If we don't come together, and I'm going to say this, and I know it's a lot, if the faith base don't come together,
That's the thing.
work in unity, then guess what?
That's the
We're
thing.
going to have more youth lost.
Yeah.
And why are we waiting to after the fact to do something where we can prevent it before it is?
Exactly.
And that's the thing.
That was my same question that I was thinking about too. How do we hear? How do we go about getting other people involved? Should we start knocking on doors? Should we go from church to church and get them involved? It's to me, that's the hardest thing to do is for faith-based people to come together. You know, we need to come together. We need to figure out what is it that we can do to get the parents to come to these kind of meetings, and bring your kids to these kinds of meetings, because we need to hear from them.
Yeah.
We need to hear what makes them tick, what makes them hurt, what makes them cry, what do they need. We can come here every week, and yet we're still scratching our heads. Until we get them to come to the table, then we're just going in circles. So we need to figure out how and what we can do to bring people to the table.
And to be honest with you, I don't mind being the one that the cloud be over, because I'm saved, I love God,
Yeah.
but right is right, wrong is wrong.
Right.
As being leaders, you should be the first partaker.
Well, we've
the
said
thing-
that for years.
So the thing of it is, sometimes you have to call people out in a very respectful way. What I mean, can I have, I just use, I'll say I probably get in trouble, but I'm always getting in trouble. You know, as Kingdom Empowerment, we have brothers. Everybody says they want to go out and work, and they will. But sometimes you have to speak directly to that person. I'm like, if I knew you, I'm like, okay, you're sorry, I don't know what you are, I'm sorry. You have to forgive me. But anyway, I mean, like, so what are we going to do? We're going to have an event where you come to it. Sometimes you have to be direct with it, but respectful with it.
Okay, now I will tell you this, and Pastor Lomax knows this is one. I actually work in a juvenile detention facility. It was Vision Quest, and it is a RAD facility, so it's a residential facility where you have children that you get children that come in and they have gun charges and things of that nature. Now, with that being said, the thing is, and I actually talk to my youth. So even with me no longer working at that facility, when I have information that I have to, where I need to know something, I'll reach out and say, hey, I need you to find this out. Can you tell me, see what this sign, this symbol means, or this is a tag. To ask them what this tag is, who is this for? There's things that but see, understand, it's still a facility, and so those type of facilities when they come out, like a meeting like today, I wouldn't be able to bring them to this meeting. Why? Because it's about, you have HIPAA rules and things of that nature. Now, if there's an event that we have, I can reach out to that facility and say, hey, we got an event for the youth, bring the youth out. Why? Even if whether they're on level or whether they're not on level, let's bring them out. Because see, sometimes, and that's how I'm able to go through and fight, because sometimes you got to get it from the mouths of the actual child, because they tell you what's going on. Now, the issue that we have right here in our community, I'm just going to be honest. We got people that have mouth for everything but the right thing. My phone will blow up 24/7. Even with one of the, there was one of the, even when it comes to the shootings, and they're actual victims of shootings, And the first thing that we say is, okay, a lot of times they know what's going on, who shot them, but they don't want to give the information of who shot them